There's our murky puddle there. That's where we were digging. And we've got that. We'll be going over that in the studio. So, are you excited? All right, we're excited. There's our little friend again. Hey, buddy. So cute. I'm about to scare you again. I'm gonna do some digging. Are we live? Hey, everybody. Are we live up in here? Can you hear me? Are we 5 by 5? Always fun to find a frog. Absolutely. Are we here? Are we live? Looks and sounds good? Okay, good. Oh, weirdness. Weird stuff going on up in here today. So I'm so glad that we're all together, and it's Sunday. So I'm just bookending your weekend. How was everybody's weekend? I'd love to hear it. Steinkerns to you all from the very, very top of the evening. Looks like Theo is here in the house, and Love is here. Hope that you're feeling better. And you and Danny. And Barbara is here in the house. William's here. Good to see you. Eric the cat is here. And of course, Melissa, fabulous. Meg Mac is here. And my mom is here, everybody. So good to see mom in the chat. Steinkerns to you with horses on them. Yeah, one of these mugs should have a horse on it. Don't you think so, Mom? I think so too. Spot's here. Good to see you. Cheryl is here. And oh my goodness, was Theo not feeling good? I just saw his person here, but I didn't see what the contents of the comment was. Sicker. Oh dear. Yeah, you might want to go back to sleep, Theo. You can't be sick right now. So lay low, and everybody go ahead and conjure some healing thoughts for both Theo, but Danny and Marnie as well. And let's see what we've got going on. Oh, thank you, Love. So Love was just commenting on the necklace that was in the intro, and I'm going to have to tell a little story about that here in a second. And I'm just catching up to make sure that I've said hello to Doug and all of those of you. Did I say hi to Meg Mac? Hello. Cheers to you as well. And here is Oliver the Curious Cat as well. And so it's gang's all here. Thank you guys for coming on over. It was a really super fun time over there at Kyle's Live, and it was like Christmas in the summertime. It was so much fun to watch everybody just getting their love and sharing their love all over the place. And so about their necklace, Love, I actually had a very good friend of mine that some of you actually know, whose significant needed a birthday present, and we got to scheming, and that's what happened. That actually is around the neck of Kurt's significant other, and I was so honored when he wanted me to make her something. And if you have been following along, there was a pair of earrings that I made with that red labradorite that I actually got from Theo, who is also in the house, and they were inspired actually by the aurora borealis. And so I believe I made them the same day, or the that evening that we were getting our auroras on. And he was like, yeah, she really loves those. And so it just so happened that I had made a cabochon that was going to make the set out of the earrings and a necklace piece. And so I was like, okay, well, that's a done deal. We'll make her something cool to go with those earrings. And and that'll be a nice thing for her to get. And Papa's in the house. It's so good to see you. It's been a minute. So thank you for joining us. And they're saying hi to everybody. I'll go ahead and put that up there. And I'd love to thank all y'all for all the fun on Friday. That was absolutely such a blast. I'd like to say a special well, before I do that, did I say hi to Ken? I don't know if I did. So Ken's in the house. I do believe I said hi to Lady Diane, but I want to say hi again and thank you so much, Diane, for your kindness today. That absolutely blew away my heart, and it's been like a bit of a very polar week. Like it's been super high, and there's been some chunkiness, and so I was like, oh. Thank you. All teary-eyed. So again, thank you so much, Diane. And like I said, everybody was just all full of love and givens today. And I loved seeing that. It's really heartwarming to hang out with y'all. And Phoenix Enterprises, thank you for joining us today. Playing with gold without you. Not yet. So take that down. And Cheryl's in the house. I can't remember now if I've said hi to you. It's like all the days and the things all kind of just blend together. And so it's like a blanket greetings and salutations to you all. Okay, and folks are definitely concerned, but it looks like Theo's on the rise. Super rough yesterday, eating fruit like they're potato chips and chugging waters and emergency. That's what you got to do. One of my friends actually, everybody wants to share their their herbal or heirloom healings, and one of my friends just swears by eating like a whole pineapple to your head when you're sick. And it's actually been quite healing for Steve and I in the past. So perhaps if you can find yourself a good pineapple, Theo, you might want to hit that like it's hot. And I did say hi, but hello again and again and again and again. And oh, my mom is wondering how to get a so you already have you're subscribed, Mom, but what's been added is this funny YouTube thingy dingy that is a membership, and it looks like Boot just actually gifted one. So that's super cool. I'll keep on explaining that, but thank you so much. I gotta ring the bell. Where's the bell? What did I do with the bell? It's a ski race or a bicycle race, guys. And Boot just won it. Thank you. And I don't get to see who got the memberships, and so maybe we can say who did. But the um the membership side, I'm gonna have to figure out how I can hook you up, Mom, because it's just a new thing that's been added, and we'll get you subscribed up with the membership, Mom. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll figure it out. I just don't know how to do it for somebody else. Like, I'm sure you can specify. Can you specify? Those of you in the know, let me know if you can specify who you purchase a membership to ever. Because it's like I see the gifted ones. And then now I'm wondering if uh, can't. But we'll keep on gifting them, Mom, until you get one. How's that? um, and so Ken is saying, okay, we're gonna share all of our remedies for everybody's who's not feeling so good. Garlic and hot peppers. I know. Thai food for the win. Cheers to that. I absolutely love getting that spicy schwitz on. So definitely. And Kyle here says, and hey, Kyle, I don't know if I said hi to you. Shower twice a day, drink a bunch of water, sleep and rest. Yeah, definitely. And you're right about those showers. Like it feels like it kind of just gets all the off of you. And we also very, very much like to take baths or, get a sauna if you've got one of those things at your Disposal. Okay, and Chris, I don't think I said hi to you. Cheers and Stein curtains and all the goods to you. Thank you so much. And then also, you have to be on a PC to do the membership thing. And so that is really good to know because mom is definitely doing it from a tablet. And so um, don't worry, mom. Like I said, we will figure it out. And then we have mullein and sage tea with ginger and lemon. Gosh, that sounds really, really nice. And so, gosh, I would just be hitting that after the podcast or the live stream here anyway. And pineapple juice for upper respiratory. Love it. Yeah. So pineapple juice if you can get it, or eat that whole pineapple just down. Just eat the whole thing, you know. Don't be dainty about it. But my mom actually used to always make this hot beverage that had citrus in it and maybe apple and tea. And so I think she used like orange spice tea or that sort of thing, and then she'd put apple juice and orange juice in it, and so it would be spicy, and sometimes there was cloves in it and that sort of thing, and she'd have that boiling on the stovetop, and the smell was just absolutely fabulous. It already smelled like health and beauty, and then you drink that, and it would just really open you up. And we have Meg Mac agrees on the sauna. I have to agree with that one. Pineapple's bad if you have slow digestion. So you know, if you can do pineapple, do it. But yeah, there's everybody's got those limitations. Good to see Lesbi Rockin' is in the house, and she's poking her head in to say hi and watching and listening from afar. Upset some bees and got stung. Oh, I hope that you're being okay. Uh, Please take care of yourself and your stings. And cheers to you. My goodness, everybody's having a bit of a rough Sunday, I think. Uh, and avoiding people is one way to not get sick, Cheryl. That's oh dear. I hear you that. And oh, it looks like Tomcat Josh also gifted another membership, and thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Let's do this. And it looks like I'm running slow, so I better speed up and catch up. Thank you so much for that. I mean, the generosity on Friday just absolutely floored me. I mean, I couldn't believe after we were done, and I got to catch up on a little bit of that live stream today as I was preparing. I like to review them, and you guys were all full of such cool comments. I wish I could remember everything, but I wish I could be uh, replying to the comments as I was watching it over again. I mean, they were so interesting. I wanted part of that as well. So I'll try to pay attention more to the comments this time. And it looks like it's random. You must have settings to accept gifts also. Okay, so that's another thing that mom needs to probably have some help with. And so I'll see if my brother can't guide her in the direction of being able to receive those gifts. And thanks again, Tomcat, for your generosity as far as hooking somebody up with a nice gift. And mom, you're very, very, very sweet. We'll figure out how we can get that going for you. And chicken soup. Yep. There's a thing. It's a thing, you guys. I always feel better when I'm hitting some bone broth. And so I'll make my own from some nice organic chicken or something like that. And so yeah, and we've got Theo. Yeah, I believe it's a setting thing, not device specific because I bought my membership on my phone. Okay, and thank you for that. So it sounds like you can do it from a device. You just have to figure out how to do it, which unfortunately I can't help you, but perhaps you guys are helping each other in the chat. I will continue on down. And Theo also avoids people. It's funny, some of the nicest people I know like to avoid other people. Is that what keeps you nice? I ask you. Oh dear. And we have some Y's here. It's the Bromelian or Bromelain. bromelain is probably how that was supposed to be in the pineapple. There is more in the core than in the fruit if one is willing and able to process it. I love the cores. I used to when we used to prepare pineapple, you'd take the core out for some reason, and I'm actually salivating thinking about it. Yeah, I used to eat those cores. I love them. So here, whoa, love that chicken noodle soup. Absolutely, Barbara. But what I was going for is this one here. What? Hose her down with Lysol and bleach before she comes in the door? What? Ham bone soup with all the veggies. Yes, that does sound good. And Sweat Lodge for the Alexis. That might be better than the bleach bath that was also suggested. Oh, that was so cool. Fabulous. Yay, welcome to the family, love. I mean, you're already in the family, but welcome on doubling down with that. And I'm so happy that y'all are in the fold. I really, really appreciate the support. That's what it's about. You guys are all family anyway, and we all know that. Like those of us that avoid people, you're the people that we like. And so yeah, thanks again for hanging out and being such a valuable part of our days. I don't think we'd be as live if it wasn't for you guys joining. So Stein curtains to you and all you people. Drink for real. Everybody needs to hydrate. I know you do. So here, well, I'll take a moment for that. Oh yeah. What is in your moose tonight? I hope it's good stuff. And tonight, what we have on deck for you is we're going to get right into the gold panning. You can see I've got like a setup behind me. Oh, I forgot about this. I got this for you guys. Look at this bad boy. It's huge. Does anybody else love hydrangeas? Oh, and I've got spiders and stuff like that too. Uh Kyle was just communing with a tiny little spider in his live as well. Look at this is kind of like Theo's ammonite. Like, look at how huge this thing. It truly is bigger than my head. Such a pretty hydrangea, and the Oregon hydrangeas are beyond. When I moved, whoops, here we go. I love spiders too, Eric. I really do. Um, but when I moved from Arizona to Oregon, one of the things I was looking forward to most was being able to grow hydrangeas. And I've been having a couple issues with some of my hydrangea bushes being like overtaken by a jungle of Escalonia. And so this guy finally decided to peek out of where it belonged, and it's surviving. And look at that. I mean, it's just huge. What I love about the hydrangeas is that they make an incredible, when they're dry, and you know that they dry very nicely, they make an incredible impression on the silver through the mill. So my mill is over there, right there. Boop, and you crank your copper, your silver through that, and it leaves the impression of the blossom. And you know, if you play your cards just right, you get the serrations on the edges of the blossoms and everything. They're so pretty. So I picked this for you guys today to share with you. And we have a lot of people who love the hydrangeas. Diane loves the hydrangeas. Oh man, that's so pretty. And so does Boot. Very, very nice. Soul is a lover of all flowers, even dandelions. And I mean, dandelions are awesome, and I love dandelion greens too. So I have no hate. Doug, it is the blue mongo. It's the blue mongo flower style. It's the flower power mongo. And so if you don't get the mongo, I'll send you some of these if you need. Okay. Um, and we have sunflowers, happening to be your favorite. I love sunflowers too, but I love everything that has anything to do with the sun and warm colors. Although I do love blue and purple too. I'm kind of an equal opportunity color person, actually. That is real. Yeah. Like I'll show you. That's where I cut it right before the show. And like I said, there's still things crawling on this thing. Yeah, I just brought it in from outside. That is real. That's the real deal, guys. I know it's so pretty. Maybe I'll just sleep with it tonight. Um, and let's see. Do you guys have hydrangeas too? You're welcome to some of mine. And my dad actually has some really, really pretty ones going too. He's got the ones that are like deep purple, and as they age, they kind of go red. Oh man, they're so cool. And so I'll admit, like, we have some pretty, pretty, pretties here. And let's see, softball size hydrangeas. That's very, very cool, William. And actually, what's pretty darn fun is I ended up with some of y'all in the Discord chat last night while I was trying to get some files transferred on my computer, and that was a really good time. Thanks for hanging out, you guys, and and I absolutely welcome you guys to do pop up uh video and audio in the lounge. Like, if you don't know how to operate it, you're welcome to hit me up. I'm the round table at our Discord. So yeah, I'm supposed to be like whatever, like I said, the host rock. And so if you're having trouble with it, go ahead and you're welcome to message me, or I'll join you in there if you need, some guidance as we go along. Last night I didn't have my video on because I was just trying to limp through, like I said, setting up my computer again. Boy, I've been having some backup issues. Wow. It's like a good thing that I just didn't feel like launching this computer through the door and out the balcony. Um, yeah. But anyways, you can have your video on, or you can have your video off. You can have your audio on, or you can mute, and so you can listen to what people are chatting about, or you can go ahead and partake. And it was like a super fun time. And so, thanks for hanging out. Orchids are absolutely fabulous, and yeah, I love doing the natural casting, and I do plan on doing some of that. It's kind of like during the summertime doing I do the sand casting. And so sand casting during the summertime feels too hot. I love doing it during the wintertime. I'm sure I'll do some anyway, but like I have to make myself during the summer, whereas during the wintertime I'm like, "Oh yeah, heat, fire, fire. Let's set some stuff on fire." And so you've got teeny tiny ones. I wonder if they're different kinds. Like maybe we have different ones here. Um, and oh, thank you. Ken put the Discord channel up. So if you guys would like to cruise on over there, you can go check it out. You are invited. And thank you for getting on that, Mr. Ken, with the wrench, like quick draw McGraw. And oh, yeah. So I loved watching you work, Jay Hick. I'm really hoping that you will get your tripod going, because that was really super fun. And thank you very much, James. That is so awesome. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to, hit the like, or if you haven't subscribed, you could do that. And leaving comments, like, that's all free stuff that you can do, and it makes the YouTube think that we're as loved as we are, and keeps us going. The algorithm just chooses to put you like these things on more people's menu, and then more people get to figure it out that they might like it or not. And so it's all good. Thank you so much for doing that. And gotta love honeysuckle. Um, that was another total surprise that when we moved out here, there's a kind of a lot in front of us, and I don't mean like a lot, like a lot, but like an empty lot that some folks actually have reserved to put their house on when the cliff starts to impede upon their present home uh, location. They're gonna move their house back on the cliff, and so there's this empty lot, and there's trees that actually get grown up by the honeysuckles, and these honeysuckles are like as tall as trees, and when they bloom, the air just becomes like thick with the honeysuckle perfume. It is amazing. Gotta love it. It's one of those things that is an olfactory reminder of that it's the good time of the year, that the air is warm and inviting, and there's this incredible fragrance to the air. And so, to be clear, and oh no, Kyle's phone is on 12%. You better plug that in. Give it some juice. So James and Doug, there are two discords. There's three discords that are part of our rock community. So Chris, Rufotris Rooted Rockhound, and Geode Cracker and Collector Tyler, they have a Discord that I think it's like the Lapidary Lounge or something like that. And so they have that one going on. And I think that that one's just open. And then there's the Kyle one. And feel free to put up Kyle's link as well, because we're over there, and that's not only a place to also socialize, but a little bit more specific towards some of the shopping over the course of the week if you didn't have a chance to on the weekend. And so it's a super cool new entity that Kyle is at this very moment in time still constructing, still getting more and more and more stuff posted up on the Discord. And so you can show and tell the things that you've got from some of the previous Kyle live streams and auctions and things. And then there's ongoing auctions on the Discord in real time all throughout the week. Plus, you can go ahead and shop some of the things that you need to update your supplies on, like beads and cabochons and rough materials. So go check that one out too. And then, of course, the Rockhound, the Rockhound Roundtable is what we started from the podcast. And so it's, the Rockhound podcast had the Rockhound Roundtable as a place for everybody to roundtable talk all the rest of the week. And so that's what that bad boy is for. So hopefully y'all are hustling around and getting signed up to them all, because they are super all good. And gluing the door shut to something, huh? Let's see. I can't really sandcast in the winter. Someone inevitably opens the garage door and the cold air rushes in and literally freezes the silver. Yeah. Erasing the time and map gas I spent liquefying the metal. Yeah, that is so true. And a very, very good technical point, actually, since that temperature is so persnickety. Like you bring up the silver to this molten beautiful liquid, and you have to be steady on to keep that exactly at that perfect melting molten heat, because if you cool it even just a little bit, you can't cast. Like, it'll get stuck in the sprue, like the neck that goes down into your sand that brings, delivers the silver to the details of the ring or whatever it is that you're casting. And yeah, I can't tell you, well, I can tell you, actually, you can watch a video on how many times I've had my silver stuck in the sprue in the throat of the cast vessel because it wasn't hot enough. And so thank you so much, Melissa. She posted all the discords to the chat. So if you're interested, there's Kyle's and Chris's, and of course we have the rock count. It's not mine. I'm just I like I happily just was the guy that opened it up so that, I incepted it so that y'all could, would have a sandbox to play in. So that is what it is. So, very, very good, lovely help going on. So tonight we're going to concentrate on the gold panning, and I wanted to thank Bob of Bob's Rocks for doing a live stream, which I actually missed. It must have been too early for me, or I didn't get a notification. So I'm so sorry I didn't make it for the actual live stream, but the the his live, if you go check out Bob's Rocks, was, I want to say, between like a 12 and 15-minute tutorial on panning. I've gotten a lot of help from John, also of the John Saucer Hunter fame, and I really, really appreciate also Chris of Rufotra's Rooted Rockhound for all the help that you've given, and then everybody who's been hanging out in the live chats. Also helping. I'm really excited about this, and then at the same time, it's not a gimme. Like, there's technique involved, and I think that you get better. Karen for brevity. Right. That is like, whenever does that ever happen? Not very often. Um, all right. And so it looks like folks have been posting stuff up even as we speak, and I love it. Those places are alive all the time. And so if, like, especially if you are like taking a break and you need a little diversion from your work or what have you, it's fun to go look at the pictures and stuff like that are going on over there. So to make it quick about what we're doing tonight, if you have missed one of the two other situations where I brought out my gold or what might be gold, uh, we have been going down to the Southern Oregon coastline and then taking a left off of the coast and going up into the hills a little bit and going to places where you're allowed by the BLM to take out some of the potential rocks, the potential gold bearing stuff. And so this time I went up there while we were going to catch the wind for some wing foiling, and I used the small classifier. So if there were any big nuggets or tingers or tinkers or whatever, I missed them. But I was what I was trying to do is fast track some concentrate to put into a bucket because we were kind of strapped for time, that I would do a little bit of panning back home. And if you were over at Kyle's, then you probably also heard that I was taking some over to my dad because it was recently his birthday, and I got him some stuff so that he could do some panning with us as soon as he's ready to go. And so I did bring him some concentrate so that he could practice too, so that we would all know what we were doing when we went back to the river to go do some more panning. And so let's see. So Eric is getting an invalid or the expired. So you might want to check the invite. Actually, I think I can do one really quick because they actually expire. So if you've invited somebody before and you just use the same link, then sometimes that one might have expired. And so I just dropped the link on in there. Might want to try that one. If that one doesn't work, then we're gonna have to figure out what's going on with you. And Bigfoot got them all. What What? Oh, the cats? This is actually super squatchy country that we're going to too. And so I have this little scoop because I was taking the scoops of the concentrate out of the bucket and putting them into the pans. And so what I've got set up also is we've got this guy that's sitting right here. And so let's see, let's do this. Can we? How about that? Oh yeah. All right. And so I did set up a little station in here. I don't have a bus tub yet because you guys were going, okay, well, here's what you need to do if you're gonna like have like a little panning station, a bus tub like that they would use in a restaurant for bussers is a super cool tool. But I did find a tote that didn't have any holes in it that holds water that I'm going to use for tonight. And um and so we're going to play in the water. Now, one of the things also that I have going on is a couple different pans. And I asked, I think either the first time or the second time, what your favorite pan is. And I would love for those of you who are into it to share what favorite pans you have, because not only am I interested, but maybe some of the folks that didn't know that they were interested in doing a little gold panning or prospecting might, be getting a little bit of the bug. One way is to go find out where it is okay to remove some of the material and pan that the BLM has set aside. Some claims that people have, they will, let you pay to play. And then a lot of the different vendors that you guys know of online also have concentrate that you can order. You get a bag in a box, and then you can do some panning that way as well. And so let's see, that worked. Awesome. And it did want to verify that you are a human. Okay. That explains a lot. Um, I'm glad that you're in though. And okay, Rufo Triss is back. Yeah, I just actually we were mentioning not only your Discord but also your help with the gold panning. And so you might also even be able to help some of the folks with what vendors might be nice to get concentrate from if they can't go get their own. On account that I can go and grab some sand, but um, some people can't. And so we have this suggestion, The Sluice Monkey by William. Thank you so much for that. And we also have this one. Kyle says his favorite pan is the one with gold in it. That is so wise. I like that pan too. Um, and all right. um, so here are the pans that I have available tonight. And what's interesting is that none of these pans were the ones that Bob had. And I totally wanted to like recreate exactly what Bob was doing because it seemed like that might be a good idea. And so I'm going to show you guys what I have, and we're going to try a little bit of each. And you guys can shout at me if you want to, and we'll just get through this. But first of all, let's see. Maybe I can do it best this way. Here's like the baby pan, and this one's very, very much like the one that Bob had, except for his had the tiny little ridges. And the tiny little ridges are good for the concentrate, which is what I have. I guess the bigger ridges are supposed to be more for the bigger rocks. And then you move down as you go along. And so I also have the big dirty version of that pan. And I have found that I do like the black pans very much. We also talked about not only, what is your favorite pan, but also what's your favorite color pan. And so I would say I like black. Although Nothing against the green pan. And the green pan is actually the one that I seasoned. You can see my scratches on there. And this is the one that we were using before. And it does have the little ridges. And so I think we might end up at least using this for a bit. And then we might move to the littler one when we get more like just concentrate, I guess. And then we have those pans are okay. I have some of those, but those riffles can let the gold slide over easier. Yeah, and so are these ridges riffles? Do riffles have ridges? It's making me hungry for potato chips. And so there you have it. There's our little riffled guy, and I think that we're gonna stick with that. And then I guess when we get real small, we might put the concentrated concentrate in the little bowl so that we can put it underneath the microscope. And hopefully we don't have to use the microscope to see our little gold flower. But and yeah, there, I don't know if you saw that in the thumbnail, like the gold flower always reminds me of a flower, not like flower gold, like little dust particles of flour. So that's why I put the rose in the thumbnail. And so like all the different tangents are completely acceptable. Don't ever worry about that. And so we're going to go back to this view and have a look at this and get that. Okay. And so hopefully you guys can see that all right. This is kind of like, this is pretty wide for this bin. I might actually, we'll see how it goes. I might default to the little one after all. So like my fingers barely can get in here, but I'm going to move this guy over here so that we can still chatter. But one of the things that I noticed about what Bob was doing, and there was a lot more material in his pan, was that he was making this escalator where the lights were actually riding along on the top of, you know, that center area. And he would just keep it keep the water moving those lights over the top of that escalator until they moved out. And so I'm going to see if I can try to recreate what it was that he was doing. And then if you guys see me doing something wrong, then definitely definitely let me know. And I did see this service spotty. Is there something? Oh no. Favorite pan and paters. I didn't see it actually, and I don't think anybody removed it. So that is weird. And so what you're trying to do, can you re-comment? Sorry. Cuz I didn't see it. And so maybe yeah, it like got aborted somewhere in the interwebs. But if you guys can see that all right, we're just trying to get the stuff that is the light stuff to go over the top of that. And then I guess the water or the ridges catch the heavier stuff, and so we're going to rinse that back in. And I even saw him, he was like doing some trying to get the weight into the top, and then he would get the lights to start going again. So I have no idea. He had a lot more material in his pan, and so I still kind of have no idea if I'm doing this right. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm just catching up. And I know that one of the things about the green is it seems like it does help you see how much of the blonde and how much of the black you still have. And so that like in and of itself is pretty helpful. And I don't know if I'm being too sloppy or trying to go too fast. And so if you guys know anything about this, feel free. I am absolutely impossible to offend as a beginner or something. You can tell me that I'm doing it completely wrong, and believe me, I'm absolutely impervious to having feelings about it. I'd rather do something right and, and get like the input. And so this is actually, kind of um what panning has meant to me so far, has been like what an amazing meditation it is that you can just keep on um, swirling this material around in your pan. The circles, I'm trying to move the material out of the ridges, and then when I'm doing the back and forth, I'm trying to get it to go up the escalator again, and hopefully the lights are finding their way over the top of that and finding their way out the door. And one of the cool things about what Bob had said in his video is that if he feels like he did a bad job, or if you feel like you maybe did miss some, um, then you can always redo what you cast off into your bin if you're doing the panning this way. You can't get it back from the river unless you want to dig whatever that was back out. But as far as for, doing an isolated panning situation like this, if I've got sloppy panning and there was some gold in here, then and I've released it back into the tote, I can have another shot at it. And so um yeah, I mean, it's interesting because however simple this is, it's definitely time consuming. You can see why some people would want to, use a sluice. You can imagine how long the old timers that were, part of the original gold rushes, like how much time they must have spent. And boy, if you're hungry or your family is hungry, or if there's something else that would make you more money, like that would be a sure thing, like say ranching or having a farm, growing some other situation, or being a blacksmith or something like that. You could see why this is from what I understand, you can have intelligent guesses as to what streams, where the loads are. You're looking for Mr. Pocket and that sort of thing. But other than that, like, if you're panning a stream or something like that, you can make educated guesses on where to be, and you can do your test pans. But other than that, it's kind of luck. Like you could have a day where you find nothing, and the guy that is, just down the stream from you might be finding nuggets. And yeah, fishing seems to be like that too. Um, I'm gonna catch up really quick, and you guys can see, I've depleted the sand in this pan quite a bit, and so hopefully we're getting somewhere in there. And yeah, I would love for you guys to share your experiences as to if you've panned before, and what your very very favorite thing that you've ever uh, come up with if you were successful panning. And it looks like we've got the stream is fine. Okay. That's so strange. Yeah, it must have gotten stuck somewhere in interwebs or whatever John called them on Friday. And Boot is saying tap the pan after straying at the top. Okay, will do. And stratifying. Pan after stratifying at the top. Okay, and which step is the stratifying, if you don't mind? And good to see you, James. Have a very, very pleasant walk. And awesome. Okay, so here we are doing that. And then, oh yeah, I was gonna get these guys back. And you're talking about Boot, you're talking about tapping the pan, doing this thing. And are we trying to just bring the heavies into that corner? And then trying to get the lights to do the conveyor belt over the top of that. Um, Seems like that's what I saw Bob may be doing. Because yeah, he was doing the tapping, and then I think I misunderstood that you weren't supposed to do the tapping until the very end. And so I was just all kinds of a world of confusion, which happens very easy in my world. And so I think somebody had said like maybe do this like 4 times or so, and then you can swirl everything back. And maybe is that when I want to do my little taps? And you can let me know if that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Yes. Okay, cool. How much panning have you done, and where did you have the pleasure of doing your panning, Boot? It'd be cool to hear about your experiences. I'm so excited about it. And then as y'all know, I think I'm supposed to do this. It's hard. It's hard starting anything new. Being a beginner, especially when something is sort of nuanced, and there is kind of a way to do it. You don't want to be reinventing the wheel. It's always nice to get some great guidance so that you're not making the errors that you could otherwise try not to. It's weird when I get down to this stage, it's like it's hard to get rid of material anymore. Do you have any suggestions as far as that's concerned? Let's do that. Should I be a little bit more aggressive, use more water? I don't want it, like I saw a bunch of it moving there, and you're just wondering, like, did I just move all the heavies all the way around and then just like kick them right out the door? Just interesting, the different techniques that make this thing either work or not. And I'm kind of bummed out that Bob isn't here because he was so helpful in that live. Really, really appreciated that. Probably don't need to take it so far out of the water every time. Definitely going to get a bus tub or something that's just a touch wider so that we can use the big pan. But I might I don't know. It's hard to know whether I should switch to the smaller pan or not. And hey, Kirk, it's good to see you. You know what? I saw your message. We were at the lake. And we seem like we're always at the lake these days whenever we get a chance to catch some wind. So I'm sorry I missed you, man. I'm hoping that we're going to overlap. It's just been tough because we just fly down the coast if we have any chance. And actually this sand is from our last dash down there to get some gold bearing sand, hopefully. So it's good to see you, and thanks for saying hi. And Jeff Williams' videos are great as he is a full-time gold miner. And it seems like I did watch some of those, and I'm not entirely sure why some of it's not sticking to my head. I might be maybe even watching too much because like then I probably start to tune out. I've been working in the studio, and a lot of times when I'm, doing bezels or soldering or whatever, I only listen to stuff with half of my brain, and that's probably a huge problem. a river here, but I did not go deep enough to find any flower gold. Have done pay dirt too. Awesome. All right. That's very cool. Um, we have Kid Curry is in the house. Good to see you. My favorite place to pan is Gold Creek. It's right off the freeway and fun until they found three dead bodies. Oh my gosh. They're close to where I was panning and I ran, never go back by myself anymore. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty intense, dude. Um, and yeah, with a name like Gold Creek, you would think that definitely would be a good place to go try to find some gold. Very interesting. And we've got another comment from Rufo. There is speed panning and detailed catch it all panning. Slower will catch more, but some aren't worried about losing a few smalls when they're going for a lot. And see, I kind of have a feeling like I'm just going for smalls. Because I think that that's all that is really there. It's mostly like flower gold. Um, and Kirk is getting seasick. Yeah, right. It's the motion of the ocean, man. um, yeah. And so that's a good point. It's I think it's kind of easy to get a little what's the word I'm looking for? Impatient. And so I try to make it go faster and I reckon that that's not a good idea. Like you just have to be in a place where that meditation is what you want to be doing. And in the case of Kirk, that a little seasickness isn't going to be that big of a problem. I'm sorry, man. And so I love the reminder about the stratification. And even when you do that, you can see that some of them were attracted to the edge of the wall up where I was tapping, and that's where the heavies are supposed to be dancing to. And then you can see that there's some other material that's kind of just spread out and it's rolling around real easy. And you got to wonder, is that the not so heavy stuff? Are those the lights? Are those the things that are supposed to be going off of the conveyor belt now, up and out, that we're trying to gently invite to leave the pan so that we have some nice concentrate left? And I think it's interesting what Bob did. If you didn't have a chance to see his video, he poured some gold into the dirt that he was going to process, or the sand that he was going to process, to give us all an idea of like, okay, we know that there's sand in here for sure. And here is what I'm going to do. These are the techniques where I'm going to find this sand or the gold over again in my pan by doing the right method of gold panning. And that was incredible because you knew that there was some cool, finds in there. And so to see him find it over again was definitely an education. So I'm wondering now, like, if you don't have gold, can you recreate how to hone in your technique by adding something heavy, like say shot, or some kind of, like, I don't know, other metal shavings to a pan so that you can see and be guided by your own experiences with the material, that yeah, I'm doing that right, or wow, look at, I just panned it all wrong and it all went back into the tote water. And so if you've got a suggestion about that, I'm going to go ahead and finish this little round right here, and then I'll get caught up on the chat. And yeah, if you've got any of your very favorite techniques that helped you, especially in the beginning, because everybody was a beginner at some point, right? And I know that for some people, it's got to be like so hard to watch somebody be a beginner, and you're just like, oh my gosh, no, not that way, or oh, like, here, give it to me. And it can be super frustrating even watching somebody struggle with it. And, you know, I might sound a little frustrated, like I have sounded frustrated in some of the other live streams that I did, the other two that had some of the gold panning, but I'm not. It's actually really like soothing to just kind of pan through. Like I said, the only thing that's maybe a little bit frustrating is that it's time consuming and you want like, I don't think instant grat. I just want to know if I'm doing it right. And I love this panning garnets. I did find some garnets underneath the microscope when I was checking out one of the pans that I did a little earlier. It's so cool to find that stuff. And then we have lead shot. Seems like that might be a good idea. And you know, actually the finer sand was from my last batch. This is actually some pretty coarse sand that I'm on right now. And the other sand seemed to have a little bit more gold going on. This is from a slightly different location. And so it is going to be very interesting. This is kind of like test panning for sure. And we've got this from Rufo. Karen, will you be free for the next 2 days if I do a live? Maybe join me. Oh, that would be interesting. We can talk gold and tips together. Yeah, that would be super cool. You want to move the pan forward and back and not tip the sand out. Yeah, that's where I'm like, obviously we want to get some of the sand to leave. And so that's that's where I'm a little flummoxed, is that I want some more of these lights to go, right? Because this is not quite, there's like a lot of blonde sand in there. I'm trying to get it down to a concentrate. Or are we at a point where I can start just like tapping it and trying to see if there's the little gold halo? Because the last time I got about here and I tried to do that, and everybody's like, "Oh, no, 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 it's not ready yet." So I'm like, it's another one of those beginner things. Like if you're not doing it side by side with somebody who knows what they're doing and going like, "Am I ready yet? Am I ready yet?" You know, I kind of just I winged it when we were at the lake, or rather at the river, and I felt like I did okay. I spent a lot of time on each pan. And so you know, it's all about feeling it all out. And yes, I would love to join you. I'm gonna be in and out for the next few days, and so we'll see. We'll have to you know, kind of jump maybe on a PM or something like that and see if we can't figure out a time that would work well. And we have Michelle here, and hello. I haven't gotten booted. Excellent. You finally fixed your glitch. Well, it's so great that you can join us. And yeah, that's super cool that you have garnets everywhere, Boot. That is so sweet. You could start to pan back now. So, but could also remove some more lights for sure. Easy to miss gold falling down when more sand's left. That's what I kind of have found, I think. I don't know. And so, I mean, we could always, let's see, swirl this around. We can take a cheater look. I mean, there's a pretty big lump of sand right there. The camera's not doing this lump of sand justice for how much is there. I mean, you can see that's a fairly big lump of sand. Um, yeah, I just feel like there's too much to try to see if there's the heavy cool gold halo part yet. But I'll tell you what, we'll do a little experiment because that can't hurt. We'll get everybody kind of over here and do the thing and try to wash that back. And there's just a lot of material there. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm like taking it out of your field of view. And doing that and washing it. I think I'm doing this right. If you see me doing this wrong, then feel free to fix me. See that's a pretty big sand dune that we have going on there. Yeah, I can't separate that. That's too much, I think. Unless you guys have a suggestion as to, oh, because the heavy should be underneath some of that white or the blonde sand there, right? And so if I keep on washing it, am I just taking all the big material away, or is that where my gold should be still if it's there? Look up there at the top. They make it look so easy on the videos, and then you have this thing in your hand and you're going like, "How did they make that look so easy?" So I always see like some sparkles come out at this stage also, and I get a little prematurely excited like, "Oh, is that gold right there?" And I want to put it underneath the microscope or, do like a close look at it before it like gets washed away. Um, but yeah, I think that like it's also hard to do without actually looking closely. So I'm gonna go ahead and do like a little maneuver here so that I can see it while I'm doing this. And then I'm gonna read the comments here. I don't see any big chunks in this one of gold. It did like make a little condensed green, or rather black sand area over there at the bottom of your screen for the little pile. And so let us see. Um, Eric has never panned for gold, but I have extracted garnets from mica schist. That's very, very cool. I would love to do that as well. That sounds hard. There are some good videos on beach sand gold mining, fine stuff, and specific methods. No manual processing needed, but which beach, etc. Yeah, Doug. I did watch some of that because there was a really good one on one of the beaches that were fairly easy to access. And so I was thinking that might be fun to go if we have like a non-windy day and are looking for something to pass time. Um, that it would be super fun to go check out a beach and do some beach exploring. And yeah, they had to dig, I think, 4 or 5 feet though. And so I don't know if Steve wants to really do that. Because I'd be like, yeah, Steve, go ahead and start digging. I'll start when you get down there. So, if it sparkles like glitter, it's mica. All that glitters is not gold, as the famous saying goes. Um, and to panners means something more literal for sure. Glitter, sparkle, other metallics, and mica. All right. So when you're looking at the actual gold, it just does it look like just shiny and yellow? Because I have found a few little specks, and I was so excited. Um, and they were just bright. I think would be they among everything else, they just looked really bright. But, when I'm looking at the pan, I like I am not wearing glasses right now, and I wear glasses for very small, and I wear glasses for very far away, and my mid-range is not bad. And so I'm wondering what I'm missing also. And so what I thought would be fun is we can go ahead and get the, microscope in here, and we will see together. Oops, it's going the wrong way. We'll see together if there's something to be seen here. That was odd. It's not getting very focused. There we go. There are some superstar grains of sand. Okay, so we know that there's black sand, there's some of it, and so you can see this is quite the generous lump of sand here, and, this is the top of that pile of sand that, is congealed at the top of our pan. And so, I would presume, there's like all of these wonderful yellow bits that, if you were really new, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I've got so much." But I reckon that's the blonde sand. Where I sped us over here because this is actually where a little bit more of the black stuff is concentrated, but you can see it's not super concentrated. I didn't get that awesome of a collection of the black stuff. And from the videos that I see, it's a much more awesome collection of the black stuff. And so gold is very shine or very distinct, shiny, you can't miss it. Yeah. And yet, um, I've had some I wonder what that is. And, for instance, what I found with the aid of the microscope. Because then it was like, "Okay, I can't see so good real close without, like, a loop or something like that," but, through the microscope, I definitely was able to, see that I had what I was looking for. Now, another thing that I thought was really interesting about this stuff is let's see where we are. If I introduce this in here. I went to pick up something with some tweezers. Where are we? There we are. And so those are the tweezers that are now in the picture. You can see they're so big. But I went to pick something up and the iron stuck to the tweezers. So they ended up not being the most awesome thing. And so you've probably seen people that use the snuffer bottles, and I figured out, like, oh, that makes a lot of sense to do it with a snuffer bottle because it's so hard to pick the material up. And so you can kind of see at see if I can use my cursor. Like sometimes you see through the microscope these little objects like that, and that is kind of yet very blonde sand. That's kind of like what my little piece of gold looked like when it was sitting in amongst the gravels. Yeah, the mini gravels. And so either the tweezers are magnetized or that's some magnetite, which was pretty yeah, that's what happened. It was hilarious. They just, uh, went ahead and, I believe that my tweezers probably got magnetized somehow, and so they were just very sticky to the material. This is a, soldering pick, the end of a soldering pick, and so if I wanted to isolate that guy, it's hard to do that guy right there. Like, if it were you, Rufo, that little guy. Yeah, actually, that by rolling him around, we can see that better. Whoops, now I pushed it into something else. That's definitely a grain of something that is definitely not gold. And so it's kind of cool like to be able to move the stuff around and to discover like yeah, that's not the droid that we were looking for. And so on we go with all of this multicolored sand that's definitely not a whole bunch of black sand, although there is some, and not seeing at first glance any gold that is standing out, but I think it would be over on this side because I was trying like to get the heavies over here mostly. And so a couple little gold colored things over there, but I think that those guys. are just some nice little crystals of sand. One of the things that I've enjoyed in the past is just looking at the sands in the microscope from different regions. I have a sand project going on that's been going on for quite some time, looking at sands from different regions and what they have in them. And so actually this is like still super interesting to me. Like that's kind of the gravy of like, okay, well I didn't find any gold in this batch, but there are some really super cool little granules, and upon a little bit closer observation, we'd be finding out some really neat stuff about the geology there. Um, Train the dogs to dig. I like that, right? Boy, they totally do. And if I'm digging in a certain area, you can only bet that the dogs want to do that too. Um, and so yeah, they're going like, "Oh, is this what we're doing? You want us to dig right here?" And they'll go where I'm trying to carefully, get everything away from um the the bedrock. Oh my gosh, that for some reason wasn't coming to my head. So you're digging so that you can remove the stuff that are the lights, right? The bigger mass of the lights, so that you're down up against the bedrock, and hopefully you're in a pocket where some of the gold has uh kind of been caught, like the whole river's the sluice, right? And they've gotten caught in this little place. And so I've been trying to hedge my bets where I harvest the sand from. And the dogs totally like, "Oh, you want to dig right here?" And I will turn my back on it, and they're digging in my place, but like they're mixing up all of the material, and they're helping, right? um and let's see. My tweezers do that bad. Even static seems to charge them up. Yeah. How do you uncharge your tweezers? There's a good question. You can grab a steel nail and move it around the dry sand to get the magnetite. I got a Steinkert. Hold on just a sec. Oh my gosh, I got a tickle there. If you want to save a bottle of it or crush it to make ferro fluid. Okay, let's see. Excuse me. Have heard of folks who just collect sand. Yeah, I'm into it. And that would make gardening interesting. Yes, for sure. Bob. Bob is in the house. Dude, thank you so much for that video. I watched it a couple times, and I've got the big pan out right now. My little pan doesn't have the tiny little riffles, and my big pan feels like it's overkill for trying to deal with the concentrate. So I need another pan. I have 4 of them. But I'm sharing the pans uh with the household. Look, we've got we're shy 1 pan for even the dogs to have their own, so I clearly need 1 more pan. I want to get a little one with the riffles, and I want it to be black, just like the one that you used, Bob. Yeah, the puppies definitely help. They think they're helping anyway. They absolutely have the best time. And put a little dirt under your pillow for the dirt man. Yeah, it's not the sand man. Enter the dirt man. Well, so I'm kind of curious. I could just wash this pan out, and we could start with another um little scoop if we wanted to try the little black one and see how we do, and meditate a little bit more together. I think that would be fun. I'll leave this here in this pan. I'll show you first, Bob. This is how far we got, and I just felt like I had too much, and perhaps it was just a. I was gonna say it was just a wash anyway. Um, it lots and lots of blonde sand, not looking like how you want it to look. My other batch from another part of the river actually looked a lot better by the time I was into this phase of the concentrate, but I had spent more time on the river making it be black sand concentrate. And this I just pulled from the river. And so I think it's like a pre-concentrate concentrate. So I don't know, but it still even just doesn't look as good as um what the other stuff was looking like. And so you can let me know. I love that little pan that you had. I carry that one in my backpack when I'm out for the day. Let me pull that up. On a creek or river. Yeah, I just loved that. Like, for some reason, the little one does work nicely. I think that I had a good time with this one when I was working with the bigger material. I did get a little bit. I swirled it around and I got a little black halo. So we'll turn it back on the microscope. Now that you've seen the big picture, Bob, I'll turn it on back to the microscope and you can see the little picture. And so we get rid of that. And so here is a close up of our pan, and those aren't impressive. That's not an impressive black halo, but that is what black halo we did get. We don't throw a fit. Um, and so I'd say that maybe that part of either the river wasn't as good. I mean, you can see I've got a lot of blondes in there too still. I just got to the point where it was hard to see what I was losing and if I was losing stuff that was important anymore with this little bit of sand, but this big old pan. And so I know that this is all very nuanced and style oriented, and I felt like I was perhaps not doing the best style. I don't know. um, let's see. How little and how hard to find is this elusive small pan? It's right here. And so let me take this bad boy off. Here's the little pan. And oh, the one that Bob has, you just have to find this style, but with the small ridges that green one has. This just has the big ridges. And so shoot, if there was some way of even reconfiguring this one, I would. But probably the thing to do would just be to, go online and find. Or there's the coolest little market on the way down the coast that has it's like a roadside mini mart with a gas station, and it's got all these gold supplies, like gold mining supplies. Is so darn cool. So I'll probably check there because I love giving my money to people as opposed necessarily to the internet. GPAA sells a great 11-inch pan that you love. All right. Or you can 3D print them any size. Yeah, I love your teeny weeny pans. They're so cute that you've had on some of your lives. And you're welcome, Meg Mac. It's been a pleasure. We're nerding out on the gold, so I'm sorry if this is like too focused on the one thing, but boy, it's something that I would love to get through so that we can have a little bit more of the like I said, the instant grat. Maybe get some faster panning going on. And if the right ridges are hard to find, could you 3D print one? Yeah. And I can see why you're raffling at Rufo, who had just said that for sure. And I still want to see Chris use his 1 inch fan. I know, right? Get that gold dust out. All right, and so let's we'll pull this one back up, and I'm just gonna put a scoop in this little guy. I can wash that out a little bit. You can tell that I let some dry in there, um, so that I could get it out. That's one of the ways that you can, if you have like some little nuggets and you're done with you don't want to have to snuffer bottle it again. You're ready to isolate it. Then you let it dry and you pick it up. And it looks like Bob is saying that it's a 10-inch pan that you bought on Amazon. I would say this might be either 10 or 12, but definitely in that range. And I absolutely love it. This is what I started test panning with on the river before we got to our first location. And the second time that we went to the river to get this particular bucket of quasi concentrate, I actually didn't have time to do hardly anything. I just started and was like, okay, well, either this is a lucky spot or not. Whereas before I test panned a lot and I looked for a hole that I dug that had lots of the black sand going on. So I did pay attention, you guys, to some of the stuff on the videos. It's just that there's a lot to learn, you guys. It's so much. And so some of the nuances for the panning itself, the technique, I was like, okay, well, I'll try to uptake that as I'm going along. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab that concentrate really quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Here is some new stuff. And so, Bob, you probably missed it at the top of what I was doing this evening, but we went out there and actually the opening little montage there had the place where we were getting I was classifying the smallest classifier that I have into the bucket, and that was all. And so that's how much processing has happened there. And so if I remember correctly, you did some stuff like this, and you did the this to try to get the stuff, those lights to go on like an escalator over the top of the other material. It seemed like you would develop it on the ridges, and you can see I'm not losing that much, so I must not be making enough escalator happen. And then at the same time, you don't want to like make it so turbulent that you bust up a bunch of your stuff that might be heavy and move it out, because I mean it was the water that moved that material in the first place, right? And so I think that's where I'm kind of stuck in being too dainty about it, and then obviously not having the right moves quite yet. And so moving the heavies into the bottom there, and then hopefully tossing those lights up over the top and into the tub. Is that what we're hoping that we're doing? And am I doing it right? is the question. Because Bob, that was just such a cool video. I mean, it was pretty succinct. I mean, you pretty much got what you needed out of that gold pan, the gold that you had added so that you could find it all over again. You found in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And so that was really impressive, and it did make me like, I don't have any gold. I do have gold actually hanging around here. But we're talking about stuff that's meant for jewelry, and I'm not entirely sure I should play with it. But now I'm super tempted. Maybe some snips of gold would be. I've got gold foil for kombu, and then I have some snips and little pieces of things. That's what I'm going to do. Thanks for the idea. I just decided that that's what's going to happen. And so, okay, we've got. Yeah, so holding the pan at an angle away from you, don't tip the pan back and forth. Keep it steady and move the pan forward and back motion without tilting. Okay. And I'm going to try to like get what you're saying there. The heavies should stay in the ridge below the riffles. Okay, that's good. That seems like what you were trying to do, Bob, was tap 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 to get those heavies in the bottom corner, and then moving the rest of that stuff over the top in a conveyor belt kind of thing was what it seemed like. That's what you wanted to do. And then, oh, so no tilting, hold at angle and move back and forth, says Melissa, which I'm still there at that question mark as well. All the heavies definitely settle when I get in the tub. Really? I heard that gravity is a thing. And we'll leave it at that. Rather than rock the pan, imagine you are setting it on a flat surface and slide it back and forth without the tilt. So you mean kind of like a shuffle like that? Like moving it more flat and then moving the water back and forth, is that the motion that we were looking at? And you mean she's about to flip an omelet? And we have a correct. All right, very good. Or an up and down motion. It was just interesting. Like, I mean, Bob was just like doing a la 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 la, and then a la 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 la, and it looked so simple, And then you have the pan in your hand, and you're going like, but he made it look so simple, and I don't seem to be having the same experience. So if I'm not tilting it, see how they're not going out. So obviously, like, I need to tilt it a little. And then I'm just trying to do this type of thing, right? Instead of like tilting the whole pan up and down. I'm such like forgive me, super duper literal learner, and then gonna have to. It was interesting. He was doing something like this, Bob was, and I was like, oh, that's exciting. And then tap 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 tap, and then here's where maybe we need to be more like that. I'm being all stiff, like I'm moving my entire body to make this happen. I can't wait. Like, that the folks that were at the river are going like, oh, we feel so sorry for that girl. A little more tilt. Yeah. I am like uber literal. So bear with me. Okay, let's have some more water, and we're gonna do the Bob shuffle. And yet we don't want it to like shoot gold out of the sides there. And then we did the like that, and move those heavies on in there.
And then we're going to do this thing, and we're going to hopefully get those lights to just jump on out of there. Get out, get out. And that's right, I'm talking sternly to you, you grains of blonde. I'm wondering how many grains of blonde I have in my own hair right now. As you guys are going like, oh my gosh, Karen. This is so hard to watch. And so back to Rufo. So I should be making everybody feel really good about themselves right now, because if I can do it, then you can do it probably faster. Shake left and shake right with a slight tilt away to settle the gold to the bottom, then tilt more and slide back and forth to wash the tops off. Once the heavies move over the ruffle, shake again, repeat. Yeah, I know. This all makes so much sense in like when I watch it and in your words. Um but then, you start your stuff going, and I don't know, like I'm sure these guys, like I see that they're like, I'm making a divot in the middle. It's like fluid dynamics. My dad's probably going to be really good at it because he's an engineer and he engineered fluid dynamics, specifically for a few of his things that he did. He was into some inventions. All right. No rocking. Need a tilt, but not tilt back and forth. I can't wait to go live and show, right? Because it's like one of those things where like, yeah, but not that. Don't do that, but do this other thing, but like not like that. And that's where I know, like, if you like have like a patient friend, I'm betting it's easier there. I'm back to probably doing too much tilt. I'm just trying to get these light guys to get out, go. Because it seems like if you're too careful, you move nothing. And we still have like all of that in the pan. But then if you're too aggressive, then and doing it wrong, obviously you could get all the way to the bottom of the pan like this and maybe have had some gold in it and have gotten rid of it. Okay, so you're the lights, you get out. So I'm just wondering, yeah, if the heavies are down there and we are just like doing that, and like just get those heavies or those lights out of there. And if I tell them sternly, does that also help? I mean, I can give them some verbal guidance, like, yeah, get out of there, you're not wanted here. Is that a little bit better, guys? I know I'm like splurshing a lot, but like I can go back and reclaim everything out of this tub. It's not that big of a deal. And Lady Diane, I hope this is like maybe remotely in some small way entertaining, because I mean, I don't know what kind of show this is. This is what I'd be doing in here anyway. I'm supposed to be working. Actually, I should be, making jewelry, but I want so badly to be able to do this the next time we go to the river that I'm going to practice. And obviously I need it. So thank you for hanging out with me and all this moral support while I'm practicing and showing you guys all what a slow learner I can be. It's okay. I've got zero ego about it. Enjoy. And then we have no rock, you need to tell. Oh, I think I already hit that. Yep, I did. Use the force. That's what I need. I just need the force. Yes, better. Okay, cool. It's probably something simple like Karen thinking of tilt as a verb, as Rufo's thinking of tilt as an adverb, right? Or like tilt, like the ping, or rather the pinball machine won't work anymore. That kind of tilt, right? But yeah, carry on, everybody. You keep on chatting, and I'm gonna see if I am understanding this better, because I think I've gotten rid of some material now. Because when I do this sort of thing, see all that stuff that's like splashing around, and I'm hoping that since we do this, like the heavies are down there in the bottom corner, and as we do this, I'm seeing some of the sands leave, and so I feel like this is kind of what Bob was doing. Oh, I think I had a lot of it just all splashed around there. Boy, but he sure did make it look easy, guys. Like everybody wants to go gold panning with Bob. Okay, a little bit more tilt, I think. And I think I just splashed everything around. But you see, like there's like a kind of a pit of stuff down there, hoping that that's just get out. It's like you're kind of throwing it out, right? Is that the sort of lateral-ish motion that I'm looking for? And pops a little tapper there. That's probably too aggressive a motion, but it is moving sand out of there. And that's what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. Do that. And Brian is in the house. Buddy, how's it going? It's been a minute. I'm so glad that you are with us today. It was such a pleasure seeing you over there at Kyle's. I had a double take. I was like, is that really Brian? I haven't seen that thumb or your little avatar come up for like quite some time. And I hope that you are well, and we're all moral support for this sort of gold activity going on. This is in no way, shape, or form a tutorial. It is a definite learning environment, though. And I'm mixing everything around right now, and then bringing the heavies back to that spot and doing that and trying to get rid of them. Hopefully that's the motion of the ocean that we were hoping for. Once again, Bob's Rocks made a really cool live stream that is a pleasure to even go back and watch, even though it was like all one take and it's not like a production style video. It's so good, and it makes this look really easy. I don't think I have enough tilt. I wasn't losing enough there. So we'll mix all this stuff around again. I mean, he was doing this cool thing, and then and then this, and I think, yeah, that tilt needs to bring it over the top there. I think I spilled some, and that was good. I think I got that one. I think that's what we were looking for, right? Those riffles are supposed to be doing their job. Do that. I'm just trying to channel Bob the Jedi here. The pan master, and Chris's help also being very helpful. Okay, that one's not as good. Let's take a little break here. Whew. All right. Working up a thirst, guys. So we're going to need to Steinkern. I'm going to put this right here for a second and catch up a little bit. Dinner is done and have to run. All right, Rufo, you have been so helpful. Thank you. A ton of fun watching me like clumsily try to do this. And I can't wait to hang out with you during a live. we will laugh, and hopefully we will bring me into a point where we know what we're doing. That would be super cool. And so everybody look around for that. Hopefully we'll land in the same place at the same time for live. And thank you. And Bob says 10-inch pan from Amazon is $10, and that's like $10 well spent, I would say. Definitely a good thing. And Klesh. Yeah, I think I watched a video or two of Klesh's. I have watched so many videos, you guys. You'd think I would be able to do this, but like I said, there's one thing about kind of like watching or listening to a video while you're doing something else, and then when you have the pan in your hand and the water's sloshing around and you're trying to like not lose what could be wonderful sand out your bowl, it just like feels pretty. I'm feeling such the beginner weirdness. So don't worry, I'll get it. I'll keep with it until it works. Um, yeah. Whoa, there's that mysterious Brian guy again. He's with us. And so yeah, you can see family is all super excited to see you, Brian, and we hope that everything is going well with you. Steinkerns to you, man. And I'm serious. That is some thirsty work. I mean, even more thirsty when you're at the river and it's 80 some odd degrees. I mean, but it feels so good to get down in the river. And the first time that we had a chance to go, we were it was kind of cooler, but I mean, we were all the way in the water. I mean, I was just enjoying it. I was sitting on a rock with my pan, just a panning along, and just the fish would come and kind of nibble at my toes every now and again. It was so sweet. I loved it. And so it's definitely a cool communing with nature. And hey Brian, what have you been up to, man? Like good, bad, ugly? It's okay if you are not at liberty to even say, but every here and there everybody's been like, hey, where's Brian at? And so just know that you've been on our thoughts, and folks have been hoping that you were well. A little bit more tilt, get out of there. And I'm gonna some, and then do this thing right here, and then do some of this. So I had it going there for one of these. It just seemed like it was working well, and must have been the motion of the ocean. I think that's it right there. And hopefully I'm not, kind of almost feels like a little like trying to throw it out of there. And then you're just hoping that if it's precious, that it'll get stuck in the riffles, right? So I'm going to do this thing and this thing, and then I'll bet you we put my mom like all the way asleep, which is fine. But she was probably like, okay, well, that's nice. Call me when you get some gold and tell me how to get a membership. And I have to call her later. Somebody remind me that I need to call my mom and figure out how to make her a member. I'll probably have to like sign in as her, but that's fine. Okay, so that actually got rid of a little bit of material. And yes, I agree. He and Pinky have been plotting to take over the world. And get it loaded, but I can't watch both Bobs and here at the same time yet. Just wait until I upgrade my equipment. I'll be really dangerous then, right? Yeah, like if I had the technology, we'd be watching Bob's all together right now, but you need to go over to Bob so that he gets the watch time. Um Dear Gold, please show yourself. I know. Like after an hour of watching you, Karen, I really need to see some gold. And tilt so the lights are coming up to the top ridge. Okay, will do. Thank you, Bob. So wonderful and generous with your patience and suggestions. I really appreciate it, as you know, because this is like the type of thing that I'm excited about, but y'all, I'm sure that there's things that you've tried in the past that you were like super like, oh, I'm a natural. I'm really good at this all at once. And then there's other things that you're not. Well, obviously this is not one of the things that I like just came out of the womb knowing how to do. Okay, so I'm trying to get the lights all the way to the top, which is what I watched you do. Oh, yeah, that was more than probably what it wanted to be, but it did get rid of some material, which after all, we really do. I'm going to try to like, bring this home for you guys so that we can look at something cool, some gold, hopefully under the microscope, just getting those lights over the top. Let's do this again. Bring that way. And see, there's that little conveyor belt. Bring in those lights. I probably just need some more water. Bring in those lights over the top there. It's like I'm kind of getting it. Oh, Karen. Okay. Like I'm seriously like moving the entire body to get that motion going, which I'm sure that in another world you don't have to do. But I think that that's the little conveyor belt that we want, that like that river over the top of that sandbar that's just taking those ones over the top. Okay. Work it, girl. Work it. You go. Yep. See, there was a nice little. That's what we want to see, right? That sort of thing. And oh, look it, Brian's playing too. Try tilting the pan at a 40-degree angle and gently dip in the water and remove the pan straight up and down. Let the water pull the light material off. I like that. So where I'm at right now, I'm going in. Well, that kind of did that. Okay, maybe that wasn't exactly what you had in mind. We'll reboot. And do that. You get a spanking. You've been a very bad piece of gold. And then I don't know if that's what we mean. I feel like it sort of is. Maybe a little less aggressive even. Oh my goodness. Spanking. And then do this. Get that like triangle. And then lights. You are to leave. Go. Be on your merry way. Is that kind of like what that's on the right track? Yes! Yes! You guys! Victory! Okay. Like, even just doing it right is as good as finding gold. No, it's not. Keep going. Don't get cocky, kid. All right, spanking. And then making the conveyor belt triangle. See, as you get to less material, it gets scarier that you're going to like pour something good out, right? There, get out of there. Go on. I don't want you here. We're almost to a place where we could look at. No, that's a big huge sand dune still. Oh, you guys, I am so proud of you for hanging on this long. Spanking. And I'm sure what has taken me like an hour to do, that was probably a good one, huh? Could be done in like 5 minutes by somebody who knows how to move their pan. And so I do really, really, really appreciate your guys's just moral support here. Just hanging out, seeing if Karen's ever gonna find something in this pan. I'm getting pretty low. You can hear my like office chair while I'm rocking the lights off of this this pan situation. I'm gonna have to figure out an ergonomic or that's the word, right? A more ergonomic tote situation for in here, and I'll probably be doing this like until like 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, this evening, however you want to look at it. Okay, hiding the current comments. Yes, we're still here doing this. Maybe angle and a little faster. Yeah, you think so? Jay Hicks says, I used to pan a lot, lots of fun. And mom is actually still here. Oh my gosh, dear daughter. I have just finished a copper Viking weave long enough to hag. I think she said hang. And the time that I'm trying to find one nugget of gold. That's hilarious, mom. And listening to the live without the context. Yeah. And it gets the spanking. Um, yeah. See, here's this right here. And my wife came into the living room with a funny look on her face. Sorry, you guys. I hope I'm not getting anybody in trouble. Um, I can explain. Yeah, like my channel gets banned from a bunch of people. Oh, I'm sorry. um It's a word now in the Karen dictionary. Yeah, that's quite the lexicon. You gotta know. Um, okay, we're getting close, you guys. We are getting so dangerously close that it might only take one more hour for me not to find anything in here. But I promise that the spankings and the rockings will become more vigorous here. And there's just not that much material left in here to even spank. And so this is really good. Okay, more tilt, more angle, little bit more aggressive. You lose a little bit more sand. And I'm not going to get my hopes up. There are sparkly things in there, but, you know, mica, all that glitters isn't gold, pyrite. I think I am going to actually do something akin to what Bob did and hunt down some gold in the studio to play with and see if we can't, you know, do some confident gold panning with the gold planted in there. You know, if I can't find gold that I've planted in there, then yeah. So let's see. It's a miracle YouTube didn't ding us for the word spanking. I know. Well, it's only a matter of time. The bots might come through and decide that I've said it too many times, and we're done. That or else this one is going to blow up. Like this will be the live stream that gets me, 100,000 viewers or something like that. Um, Once you hear it, you can't unhear it, right? And mom says, sterling silver set, opal for a necklace. I think that's multitasking. Very good, mom. I can't wait to see it. You'll have to send me a picture. Very, very cool. Okay, and so we've not got that much sand in here. I think that this might be a good time to see if we have anything. It might be too early. There's still kind of a sand dune in there. You guys can see it. Um, and unfortunately, there's just not a whole lot of black sand, which means that I'm probably still like not in the very best area as far as the whole river is concerned. You guys that have trained eyes, what do you think when you look at this? Do you go like, "Wow, that's too bad, Karen," or is this what sometimes it looks like to you when you do find gold in your pan? Thank you, James. I hope you had a great walk, and thanks for hanging out as long as you did. And Cheryl says you should title this "Down and Dirty Gold Panning." Right. And Bob is suggesting or buy a beginner bag of pay dirt with a guaranteed amount of gold. Yeah, that's a good idea too. It's hard to like literally I'll tell you guys, I think I might have told this story when I did my very first live about this, but we got to the spot where we were going, and there was a family that was just getting ready to leave that had been hanging out for a few days, and this person ended up being uh, I guess a fairly, at least according to themselves, they were a proficient, prospector and panner and gold finder and what have you. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll show you the hole that I dug, and we found 34 pieces plus a tinker." And I was like, "Wow, that's cool." And he showed me where they were, and it was a little too far away from where we were going to be with the dogs and the other folks that we were with. So we decided to kind of hedge our bets and go somewhere in between, and like kind of make a similar looking situation happen. And so I mean, knowing that there's like, okay, dude definitely whet my appetite. He's like, "Oh yeah, we found all this gold." And so Bob is saying not enough black sands, maybe some flower gold. And so are you saying that there might be some flower gold, or there's not enough black sand to even have the flower gold? Um, and so yeah, from our first trip, that was one of the things that I really noticed was that like when I would do this action, and I'll go ahead and put it back on that because watching my profile do it is not that exciting. But I do this thing, and there would be like all this black, and I would do the rinse thing. Like for one thing, that's like a bigger mound than I was used to having. And so I do this little rinse thing and get the heavies and rinse and heavies. And I don't even think you're supposed to have to do it that many times, but yeah, there would be this like in the videos there was like a pretty cool black halo um that would be there at the top, and I'm just not seeing that in my situation here, which I guess doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have any gold, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look the same as when we had what I might have considered better stuff without even knowing what we were doing. And so actually here, like I'm doing this sort of cattywampus, get everything going, and then up here at the top, and then do it again. And if you guys like see me doing something heinously wrong, where like, yeah, this is why you're not getting any results, as far as like the way that I'm tapping, or I'm rinsing the sand wrong after I've tapped so that I don't see stuff right. Oh, my phone is dying, and so we'll bring this back. And I think that might be, yeah, that looks like that's it for the phone. So we're gonna bring this. I'm gonna actually do that one more time, and we'll bring it over to the microscope, and we'll just look at the sand that we have isolated, and we can say like, oh, that's what it looks like when it's wrong, or here's this huge nugget of gold that we just found. Well, we'll just have a look at what we have. But yeah, I'm not seeing much of a black halo. Just kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Huh. And that's a lot of sand too. So I'm gonna put this guy over here. And I'm gonna get caught up in the chat. Also, it's kind of hard to see the black sand on the black pan, but I love how it like highlights your blondes, and it really highlights your gold too. All right. So let's see. We have that good night, everybody. And the beginner bag. Yep. Karen Spanks for gold. Just call Miss Spanky. Not enough black sand. Yep. And there's black sands around Lake Superior, but good luck finding a people-free spot where you can collect some. Interesting. Oh, Resort Dog is here. Good to see you. I like get the easy way. Go to the gold buyer and shop his nuggets for the ones to use in jewelry, right? I want to find one so bad though. It hurts. Okay. I hear you though. We get spoiled by this wonderful lady doing weird stuff on live streams. Oh dear. Okay, so Kathy said, I've never seen this done before, so I do appreciate this live. Oh, I'm glad. Oh my gosh, this is not indicative of how it's done right, but at the very least, you're seeing how hard it can be for a beginner. How's that? It is an art. This is so true. This is so true right here. It's a total art form. It's not easy. And let's see. We've got get it down to just the black sand, and the gold is hiding under that. Yeah, I felt like I was so closer with the other material that I was working with. This material is hard, but I think at the bottom of the bucket that I brought home, that's where this is going to get better. And I'm not at the bottom of the bucket. I just need to work through all of this bigger material. And I don't want to just like, just toss a bunch of the material from the top because maybe there's something in there. I don't know. It's just going to be harder. Sure idea. We'll spank for gold. And if you know, you know. Oh man, that's great. I love it. Panning is definitely an art, and technique comes with time and muscle memory. Thank you. I'm in it to win it. I'll just keep on doing it. And there's plenty of sand here locally that I won't find any gold in, but I could most certainly, be panning and panning and panning. And if I've got some gold to seed my pan with, then at least I can practice. I definitely am a bit like I didn't get the whole everybody's into prospecting and gold panning and stuff like that until now. Color me, completely wrong about if I ever was sort of judging before. Kyle, who's spanking who and who's giving the gold? Oh my. Yeah, sluice box for the win. True there. Some places will allow it, some other places won't. I was on BLM, and what I understand is you can have a certain size, and it just can't be powered. I think you can't use any power equipment unless you have the appropriate permit, and then in that case, good on you, and go for it. I would just have to look at the permit situation, but I am interested in the sluice box. That would be super cool to try. I'm interested in finding any way that is at all possible. And all right, cool. Definitely make some trips happen. Like think I said in the other live stream, we are summering like there's no summer left. I mean, we are trying to grab as much of summer as possible before this season is over. It feels like what is necessary to do for sure. Even in the con bucket, gold sinks to the bottom, saves the best for last by nature. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Of course it's of course it's there in the bottom. And so I'm looking forward. Like I will admit that, I'm digging the sand out, and with the scoop I'm trying to like get to the bottom, because I'd love to just have at least a little bit of whatever that the nice con at the bottom, the good stuff, the cream of the crop that has risen to the bottom. Yeah. So anyways, I'll be bringing you guys along on this trip for sure. If you guys like that kind of meditation, then there will be more of that. Let's see, we've got at Whiskey Town, you can get a permit for a day and go for it up Coffee Creek. Yeah, there's things like this that I'm very interested in trying. So far, I've just hit what is just generally open, and it's only open for a specific period of time, too. And so, like, when that time period is over, I won't be going anymore. And so I'm trying to grab it while I can for sure. And then I'll be checking out stuff like this that Resort Dog has suggested. And I'm sure that there's different places both in Oregon, and then there's California and Nevada too, that would be interesting to drop in on during the different seasons. And so that'll be good. And let's see. Just flying down the comments to get caught up. And Resort Dog also says, I'm a member of the new 49ers still. I got a sluice and also a backpacking keen. Nice. Yeah, I actually gave a little pocket sluice to my brother, and we're interested in getting a bigger one. I think that would be super fun. And Kyle's over here doing the merch thing still. You guys are hilarious. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you, Resort Dog. All right, you guys. My goodness. A couple of hours of watching cold sweat dribble down my face while I'm trying to pan for gold. We will take a quick look at the pretty sands here, and then we'll call it the evening. Um, Once again, we have sand. It's just sandy sand. Not a whole lot of black going on. Not terribly impressive. In fact, this is like a less a less impressive group than what we even had before. Um, and so it does make me wonder if, the way I was doing it, that I was rinsing some of the sand away, that I was being too aggressive. And yet, when I look at this stuff, it's always so much fun. I'll probably
end up, kind of parsing through the sand grains that we have here, just because I love seeing the minerals that occur. There's like a couple of shinies that I'm sure are just mica or whatever, but I'll probably do some investigating to see if we have, you know, if I miss some gold somehow, but like a lot of these like golden shinies, when you get up close, you find out that that's like a really, really shiny crystal of something, like it's just catching the light, right? This is a very bright magnification light. And so it makes all of the little inclusionary minerals look so sexy. Like the one that's in the center of the frame right now, doesn't that look like a fantastic little feldspar or something like that? This bright green or emerald green. I mean, there's just really, really cool stuff that is in here. I know that in some locales you can find a lot of tourmaline. And of course, you guys have been mentioning the garnets that can be found. And I did find what was probably, like a perfect little garnet in another batch that I was looking at close, because you have to. Plenty of mica. There are these like almost ocean colored, sea glassy looking clear guys. I'm wondering if that's like a peridot or an epidote or something like that. Not sure, but yeah, some pretty neat stuff that's just even around in the sands that I'll be checking out. So let's see. We've got Allison Backett, and she has made it. Sounds like I'm catching the tonight's show on the replay. Yeah, yeah, we're right on the tail end of it. But I'm so glad that you're home, and I hope that all of your travels and gigs and all that kind of stuff was super fun. And John is still in the house, also fantastic. Um, had a Bigfoot visit on. You have to tell a story. Been a McCracken lifetime 49er since 1995. Very cool. I was doing a drive-by here on Cairns and saw your comment, so I had to respond. Had a Bigfoot visit us on the Indian Creek claim. I want to hear that story. I need to hear that story. How do we hear that story, John? Um, and it looks like Allison's got a video premiere in 30 minutes. Awesome. We are going to be done by then for sure. Can you throw up a link, dear Allison? That would be awesome. And let's see, we'll talk at a different time, maybe even hook up for a happy camp adventure. Very cool. That's cool. And so John's like, I got lots of stories. I bet you do. And everybody, Allison has put the link up in the chat. So hit that and save it for later. And we will do our honorary Steinkerns. So I'm sorry that we didn't find any big nuggets this evening, but you know that we will. It's gonna happen. Like I said, I've found some itty bitty pieces like the flower in some of the stuff from the first visit, and so I'm hoping that we do find some more live here on uh, the live stream, and then it'll be fun because you'll have watched like the whole learning process of how to pan however like pulling teeth it is, and then we'll get to the actual gold part of it, which hey, that's the fun part. And so thank you so much for hanging out. It's always a pleasure. We will do some hanging out, of course, throughout the week at everybody else's live streams. We've got the premiere that Allison has coming up. There is Allison on Wednesday morning for her coffee, of course. Got to jump in on that live. And then this Wednesday evening at probably right around 5:30ish Pacific Standard Time, Josh is going to be doing his live stream and he's going to be doing another auction with something like 22 pounds of some agatized coral, which is going to be insane. I'd like to thank everybody who was hanging out over at Kyle's all weekend long. Really, it was one of the best weekends, I think. Everybody was just so fun and lots of laughs and so much giving. It was very, very cool. We'll see you next weekend over at Kyle's for the big sale that he's going to have. And I'm sure that there's going to be lots of live streams. I'll go live at the very least on the membership side, probably sometime during the week before the Friday comes, and watch the membership side for all the weird snips and clips that are going to be coming on. Who knows, maybe I'll continue panning over there or something like that. But yeah, there's much more to come. Thank you so much for your time and your membership and all of that wonderful stuff. And I saw something, lesson and determination, right? Right, Melissa? We're gonna find gold. We're gonna find gold. We're gonna do it right here. And we've also got yep, thanks for the live streams, and thanks for the live streams and all this kind of good stuff. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. John and Bob and Chris, thanks so much for helping out with the technique. I really appreciate that. Also, Brian, and Brian, is super good to see you back in the group. We've missed you tons. And thank you, Soul. I'll look forward to seeing that. I've got some packages I need to like actually finish and get tape on and get sent out as well. You guys all rock. When I have a really quick question, anybody who was here at the very beginning, could you hear the music or was it just the pictures? Because I couldn't hear the music for some reason, but my whole computer's been tripping since I've been taking stuff off and putting stuff on and trying to get all the backup. I've had some pretty serious malfunctions. And so, yeah, really quick. If anybody can tell me if they heard music at the very beginning. Okay, cool. So I didn't hear it. And I was just like, I'm just going for it. Like, hopefully everything's okay. So thank you. So there's going to be music for your outro. And I have a new outro developed because of course as people keep on joining I gotta keep on improving the outro, and John has this to say. Hang in there. Will do. And remember, it doesn't matter how aggressive you are, the gold would end up in the dump out containers always. Yes, so quit worrying. I'm not gonna worry. I'm just gonna have fun. But I want you guys to be here when we get like a tinker or something. Like, it'll be so much fun to have you guys along. And so I'll keep on going with it. And we'll find our gold, although you guys are all gold, and so we've really already found the gold, right? Yeah, I said it. I went there. I'm going all warm and fuzzy with you guys, and so with that, I bid you adieu. Cheers, and thanks so much for all that you are. You rock. I'll see you around the way, and next time. Thanks again.